Did you really forget what they told you? Or did you just learn how to smile through the pain? Be honest with yourself for a moment. Maybe no one else heard the words, but you remember every single one. You'll never be enough. You only attract bad things. Look around. Hasn't some part of you held on to that pain, even if you've tried to bury it? Let me ask you something. How many times have you acted like you were okay just to survive the moment? How often have you swallowed the hurt just to keep the peace? Have you ever caught yourself hesitating before making a decision because fear suddenly whispered, "What if I fail?" Sometimes the pain doesn't scream, it just whispers, in your quietest moments, in your deepest doubt. In the exact second you feel something good coming, and then a voice inside says, "Do I really deserve this?" What you're feeling isn't just hurt, it's trapped energy, a kind of emotional programming, meant to protect you, yes, but it's also kept you from peace, from lightness, from freedom. And here's the cruelest truth. Most people never realize they can let it go, that they can actually cut the invisible cords, that there is a way, a simple, silent, ancient ritual to begin healing from this weight we've carried for too long. But before I show you what that is, be honest. How many times have you heard something that crushed your confidence, and you pretended it didn't hurt? If that question hits you even a little bit, go to the comments right now and type, "I protect myself, and I won't carry this anymore," because this is where the shift begins. And if you feel like this content speaks to something deep inside you, hit that subscribe button. What you're about to learn can shift your entire energy. You don't have to carry energy that doesn't belong to you anymore. There is a form of protection, as old as the pain you feel, a ritual used for generations to cut toxic energy, dissolve bad intentions, and restore what was once yours. Your peace, your courage, your center. And no, it's not just mystical fluff floating in the air. This is physical. This is real. This is ancient knowledge with a modern purpose. With just 7 black peppercorns, you can begin to shift the energy that's been silently shaping your life for years. This isn't superstition. It's intention in action. It's a silent shield, not about blind belief, but about reclaiming your power. But let me warn you, this ritual is serious. It must be done with real intent, not for revenge, but for protection, for peace, for breaking the cycle. Now, if there's someone you love, someone you want to protect from all bad energy, hit the like button right now. Yes, it helps the channel. But more than that, it's a symbolic act of protection. It's your way of saying, "I choose to break the cycle, here, now." Across centuries and cultures, from India to Afro-Brazilian traditions to the Middle East, black pepper has been used not just as a spice, but as a shield, an energetic barrier, a protector against envy, heavy thoughts, toxic environments. So, the question is, are you ready to cut the cord? Are you ready to stop carrying energy that was never yours to begin with? Because the ritual is simple, but the shift it can create is powerful. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Because this isn't just folk wisdom passed down through generations. Science is starting to back it up too. Did you know that neuroscience research shows compounds in black pepper, like piperine, can actually activate areas of the brain linked to alertness, focus, and emotional balance? So even without eating it, just physical contact with pepper can trigger a microactivation in your body. A subtle but real signal to your system that says, "You're safe, you're protected, you're back in control." Isn't that wild? And here's a detail that most people overlook. The number matters. You're not just grabbing a handful. You're going to use exactly 7 black peppercorns, not 6, not 8, 7. Why 7? Ask yourself, Why are there 7 days in a week? Why are there 7 colors in the rainbow? Why does the human body have 7 major energy centers, or chakras? Because across cultures and continents, the number 7 is seen as a symbol of the full cycle, a point of completion, the moment when something ends, so something new can begin. But let me be clear, that's just the beginning. Before I show you exactly how to do the ritual, there's one detail no one ever tells you, and it's the part that actually makes or breaks the entire thing. It's not just about holding the peppercorns, it's what you do with them after. That's what determines whether this becomes real energy work or just a gesture. That step, so often ignored, is what separates those who try from those who transform. Ready to learn how to do it the right way? Let's go. The ritual, the right way. Take 7 black peppercorns and place them in the palm of your left hand. Why the left? Because in energy work, the left side of the body is the side that receives. It's where energy flows in. Now, close your hand firmly around them. Pause. Take 3 deep breaths with your eyes closed. This isn't just about breathing, it's about intention. Right now, you're not just holding seeds, you're holding everything you're ready to let go of. The fear, the hurt, the feeling of always being a target. And as you exhale on the 3rd breath, visualize a dark light leaving your hand, as if the peppercorns are gently pulling out what no longer belongs to you. Don't rush this. This is the moment your energy begins to shift. Now comes the most powerful part. With your hands still closed, repeat this quietly, or mentally if you prefer. What isn't mine doesn't stay. What harms me goes away. Say this 7 times, once for each peppercorn. Each repetition is like a thread being cut, a weight being lifted. And now, for the final step, go to an open space. This could be a window, a balcony, a garden, or just bare ground. Anywhere the energy can flow freely. If you have access to the ground, with your hands still closed, slowly open your fingers and let the peppercorns fall. If you're indoors, use a plate or a bowl, but ideally, let them touch the earth or the floor beneath your feet. As they drop, speak this out loud, or in your mind. From this moment on, I am sealed. Nothing harmful enters my field. Let those words echo. Feel them as a boundary forming around you. Subtle, but powerful. But don't go anywhere yet, because what I'm about to share next is something almost no one talks about. And this second element? It's what turns this ritual from symbolic to seriously effective. Here's why. Now that you've released the peppercorns, a silent shift has already begun inside you. But protection isn't a single act. It's a stance, a way of living. To truly solidify the energetic shield you've just begun to form, you need one simple action. A phrase, repeated daily for 7 days. And this isn't just some random affirmation. It's been crafted using linguistic patterns that interact with the brain's own security system. When spoken with real intention, it activates your prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for conscious decisions, including the decision to no longer let old wounds run your life. Ready to take back your energy? Write this down. Put it somewhere you'll see it every day. I am protected. I am whole. And nothing enters without my permission. Save it on your phone. Stick it to your mirror. Whisper it to yourself when the world gets loud. Say it twice a day, once in the morning when you wake up, and once before you fall asleep. Say it 3 times, eyes closed, breathing deeply between each repetition. And as you say it, visualize a barrier forming around you. Not glass, not steel, but light, dense, radiant, impenetrable, a force field around your spirit. If you can, Place your hand on the center of your chest as you speak. This anchors the emotion into your body, connecting your conscious mind with your emotional system. That small act, repeated with care, it turns a ritual into a habit, and a habit into a kind of invisible strength, because protection isn't just a gesture, it's a message to the world. You don't get to decide my energy, I do. Most people stop here, but those who know, the ones who truly understand energy, add one final step. Grain number 8. The hidden shield. After discarding the 7 peppercorns, you're going to take one more, the 8th, and you'll do something different with it. You'll keep it with you for the next 7 days, in your pocket, in a pouch, somewhere close to your body. This isn't just a seed. This is your symbolic shield, a representation of everything you've faced and everything you've already overcome. In some ancient traditions, this final grain is known as the shadow guard, a quiet talisman believed to absorb lingering negativity before it even reaches you. And here's the final secret layer. Before you carry it, hold this peppercorn briefly over a flame, a candle, a lighter, even the stove. Why? Because across every ancient culture, fire has been seen as the ultimate force of transformation. It transmutes, it clears, it fortifies. That fire marks the grain. It awakens it. It says, I've turned my pain into power. I don't fear shadows anymore. So here's your complete path. 7 peppercorns to release, 7 days of affirmations to reprogram, one final grain, the shield you now carry. Few do it. Even fewer understand why it works. But now that you do, you'll start to feel it. People drifting away without explanation. Old patterns quietly unraveling. A strange new peace growing around you and within you. So, ask yourself right now, what energy am I done carrying? What protection have I been silently needing, but never allowing? If this resonated with you, drop in the comments. Grain 8. Shield on. Let the world know you choose to protect your peace. And if you want to keep learning how to protect, reprogram, and rise, hit that subscribe button now. Because this is just the beginning of your shift. You'll start to notice it in the smallest ways. A sense of lightness in places that once felt heavy. Answers appearing where before there was only confusion. But for that shift to really take root, there's one more key: timing. Because not every day carries the same energetic strength. And when it comes to rituals like this, the right moment can turn something powerful into something magnetic. So, here's what you need to know. The most powerful time to perform this ritual is on a Tuesday morning. Why Tuesday? Because in esoteric and energetic traditions, Tuesday is ruled by Mars, the planet of action, protection, cutting ties, and strength. So anything done on this day, especially with the intention of releasing, shielding, or reclaiming your power, has amplified force. But it gets better. If that Tuesday happens to fall during a waxing or full moon, the energy doubles. Let me explain. The waxing moon expands all new intentions. It boosts your momentum, like the universe saying, yes, let's grow this. The full moon, on the other hand, reveals what's been hidden, including the subtle intentions of others. It's like holding a mirror to the unseen, and it gives your ritual a dual power: to protect and to illuminate. Imagine doing this ritual, and at the same time, it's like a spotlight shines over your life, clearing shadows and clarifying truth. But we're not done yet. Timing of day matters too. If you want the full effect, perform this ritual between 5 a.m. and 9 a.m. Why this window? Because according to chronobiology, the science of biological rhythms, This is when your body is most in tune with the Earth's magnetic field. Your brain is also transitioning out of the theta state, a deep, receptive mental frequency, perfect for rituals, affirmations, and reprogramming. So, here's the ultimate alignment point. Tuesday, waxing or full moon, between 5 and 9 a.m. That's the energetic sweet spot, the moment where intention meets frequency and the shift becomes unshakable. But remember, you don't have to wait for the perfect date to begin. If you're ready now, start now. But when that cosmic alignment does happen, mark it down. Make that morning sacred. Protect it like a ceremony. Because it is. From protection to attraction. And now comes the most beautiful part. Because once you start protecting yourself, really protecting your energy, something unexpected happens. The ritual doesn't just push away what hurts, it begins to pull in what heals. It doesn't just repel, it attracts. Because when you raise your energetic boundaries, the people and situations that once matched your pain start to drift away, and you won't even have to say a word. Suddenly, that friend who always drained your spirit stops texting. That person who subtly put you down starts avoiding you. It's not drama, it's not revenge. It's the universe saying, "You're shielded now. That energy doesn't have access anymore." And here's the truth. This ritual doesn't just create distance from what's wrong, it creates space for what's right. A new field, a new frequency, one that only attracts what resonates with your healing. So ask yourself, what kind of energy am I finally ready to release? What kind of energy am I ready to receive? Because when you align your protection with the right timing, when you speak with clarity, act with intention, hold space for transformation, that's when things begin to shift without force. That's when your frequency changes the room. And everything that doesn't match simply fades. If this part touched you, don't just scroll away. Drop in the comments. I align. I attract. I protect. And if you're ready to go even deeper into energy work, ancient rituals, and practical ways to reclaim your power, subscribe now. Because what you're learning here isn't just information, it's transformation. But that's not where it ends. Because when those draining presences begin to fade, the space they leave behind, it doesn't stay empty. Something else shows up, and you'll notice it. It arrives softly, without force. New people, new energy, small moments of peace, a calm text, a kind smile, a conversation that feels effortless where once everything felt heavy. It's like your nervous system finally exhales. The chaos is gone. And in its place is quiet alignment. Psychologists have a name for this. It's called unconscious emotional resonance, a process where you begin to attract what aligns with your new emotional state, even without realizing it. Ask yourself, what would your life feel like if peace became your default setting? Because here's the truth. The more you practice this ritual, the more your unconscious accepts peace as your new baseline. And when that happens, your entire life begins to organize around that new frequency. But there's a deeper layer, maybe the most important one. This isn't just about you. When you break a cycle of pain, you don't just break it for yourself. You interrupt a pattern that's been running through your bloodline, sometimes for generations. Scarcity, fear, attachment to people who hurt us, settling for less than we deserve. You become the one who says, "This ends with me." Now think of this. Do you have children, grandchildren, nieces or nephews, younger siblings? Think of them, right now. Because what you heal in yourself echoes in them, even if you never speak a word about it, even if they never witness the ritual. Your shift changes the emotional temperature of the entire household. That's why so many people say things like, after I started the ritual, my son stopped having nightmares. My daughter, who always felt left out, suddenly made friends. My husband began showing more patience, without me asking. They call it magical, but it's not magic. It's freed energy finally flowing where it was always meant to go. Sensory memory, the invisible button of protection. And here's a powerful detail that most people miss. The more you repeat the ritual, the more your emotional body develops a sensory memory. The feel of the pepper in your palm, the breath, the spoken words, the intention behind it. Eventually, just touching the pepper or quietly repeating the affirmation will be enough to recenter you, shield you, realign you with peace. It becomes your invisible safety button, a code only you know how to activate. Now imagine teaching that to a child, gently showing them, you can protect yourself. You're not helpless. You have a choice. That's not just a ritual. That's emotional armor passed down like an heirloom. A legacy, not made of wealth or achievements, but of strength, of safety, of sovereignty. A ritual they can carry in their pocket and in their soul. Let me ask you this. How many generations in your family lived in fear, in scarcity, in exhaustion? Because no one ever taught them how to protect themselves emotionally, and now you're here, watching this, listening, learning. You are the first link in the chain to say, it ends with me, and it begins again, stronger. If you feel this truth, drop in the comments. I break the cycle, I create peace. Let the future know you made the choice. And if you want to keep going, to learn more rituals, truths, and ancient tools to protect, realign, and rise, subscribe to the channel. Because what we're building here isn't just self-help, it's a legacy. You can be the breaking point, not in the sense of collapse, but in the sense of power. The conscious link in your family line that finally says, enough. From now on, it's different. And here's the best part. There's still one more technique. Simple, quiet, takes under 5 minutes a day. And it can amplify everything you've already started. But before I show it to you, I want you to pause. Go to the comments and type, I am the turning point in my family. That phrase, written by you, is more than a comment. It's a commitment to your energy, to your story, to your legacy. Now, let's take everything we've done so far and build on it, because there are two kinds of protection: the kind you do once and hope it holds, and the kind you integrate until it becomes a part of who you are. The black pepper ritual is the cut, the clean break from unwanted energy. But for it to last, you must reprogram your inner frequency. You have to create a new baseline. That's where this next step comes in. A small, daily, transformative gesture. It starts with one thing: the habit of conscious affirmation. But hold on. This isn't about repeating a sentence like a robot. Psychology has already shown that affirmations only work when they activate the limbic system, the emotional core of the brain, the part that governs feelings, and your sense of safety. So here's the key. You must feel what you say. Otherwise, it's just noise. And your brain? It tunes it out. The morning practice under 5 minutes. Every day when you wake up, before you check your phone, before you speak to anyone, before you let the world in, place your hand gently over your chest. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath and softly say, I'm at peace. What's mine arrives with ease. What's not mine doesn't touch me. Repeat it 3 times, always with feeling, always with presence. As you speak, imagine a white light filling your body, wrapping around you like calm armor. This tiny habit, done for just 21 days, begins to rewire your mind. That's not mysticism, that's neuroscience. The brain builds new neural pathways when repetition is paired with emotion. You're not just saying words, you're installing a new internal script, one that guides you automatically. You'll feel the shift, and soon you'll notice the difference. That situation that used to throw you off loses its grip. That person who used to disturb your peace can't access you anymore. You'll start to feel something subtle but strong, a quiet confidence, not arrogance, not bravado, but a calm, unshakable knowing. I no longer allow myself to be invaded. And here's a little secret. The more you repeat this practice, the easier it becomes. Your body will start to recognize it. Your voice, your breath, your posture. Over time, this becomes your instant reset button. You'll be able to drop into this protected state in seconds. During a chaotic day, before a tough conversation, or when you sense something off and can't explain why. This goes beyond spirituality. It's emotional, it's psychological, it's physiological, and it overflows. People will notice. They'll ask, "Are you calmer lately? You seem more centered. What changed?" And you'll just smile, because you'll know. It was never a miracle. It was a decision, a daily choice, a simple practice. Coming up next, the white candle ritual. And now, if black pepper cuts, the white candle cleanses. This next technique is your final step. It clears the residue, the subtle energy left behind, the anxiety you can't name, the looping thoughts that won't stop, the insomnia that creeps in when you're supposed to feel safe, and all you'll need is one plain white candle. But the power? It's not in the candle itself, it's in the intention. And once you learn how to do it, you'll be able to unlock energy you didn't even know was stuck. Stay tuned. This journey isn't about fixing yourself, it's about freeing yourself. So, if you're ready to go deeper, tap subscribe and drop in the comments. Peace is my practice. Protection is my choice. Because this isn't just about rituals, it's about becoming the person your past self always needed. Now let's complete the ritual, not just to protect and release, but to cleanse, restore, and reset. Because energy isn't just cut and cleared, it must also be purified. The white candle ritual. Fire to transform, not burn. Choose a quiet corner of your home, somewhere you won't be interrupted. Light a plain white candle, but not just any time. Do it at night, after your shower. Lights off or dim, sit in silence in front of the flame. Take a deep breath. Now silently repeat. Everything that is not mine dissolves in this light. I purify myself in silence. Gaze into the flame, not as if you're looking at it, but as if you're looking within yourself. Let your mind soften. Visualize your memories, fears, and inner noise, all gently being pulled into the flame, not to destroy, but to transform. Do this ritual for 3 consecutive nights, always with the same phrase, always after bathing, always in silence. And here's an important detail most people overlook. Do not blow out the candle with your mouth. Use your fingers or a snuffer, because in symbolic practices, your breath represents your soul. And what needs to leave here is the excess, not your essence. The water seal, emotional filtration. While you sleep now, let's seal the process, silently, gently, and with water. Few practices are as quiet, yet as powerful as this. Because water has memory. This isn't just spiritual belief. It's been studied in experiments like those by Masaru Emoto, who showed how the structure of water changes with different words and emotional vibrations. So imagine this. What happens when you place a clear, conscious intention into water and let that water sit beside you as you sleep? Let's turn that into action. Before going to bed, fill a glass with clean water. Hold it with both hands. Softly say, "This water absorbs everything that doesn't serve me. By morning, it will be sealed." Then place it beside your bed. That's it. While you sleep, it acts like an emotional filter, drawing in residual thoughts, energetic noise, tension from the day, and in the morning, you dispose of it with awareness. Pour it down the drain or into the earth, and as you do, say silently, "I release what was drained." Do this for 7 nights in a row. It takes only a moment, but it's deeply restorative. You'll notice your body feels quieter, your thoughts slower, your mornings lighter. Real stories, real shifts. This isn't theory. These are real tools used by real people, and they work when done with intention. Let me share a few stories. Adriana did the full black pepper ritual. She told no one, no announcements, no drama, just silence and consistency. Within a week, something shifted. Her ex, who had lingered in her life emotionally and physically for years, stopped showing up, stopped texting, stopped haunting her space. She said, "It was like he felt something had changed and couldn't reach me anymore." That's the power of energy work. And then there's Tiago, a single father to a 6-year-old girl. She'd been waking up every night with fear, no reason, no explanation. So, he did the ritual, 7 peppercorns. And the 8th? He tucked it into her backpack pocket, without telling her. That week, she slept 7 nights in a row, peacefully, for the first time in months. No nightmares, no fear. He didn't tell her. Her energy just knew these aren't coincidences. They are echoes of a technique that works when done with clarity and presence. You are the shift you've now learned. How to cut unwanted energy, how to shield your field, how to purify your space, how to filter through fire and water, and how to make this a legacy, not just a moment. So, here's your final reflection. What if your peace is not just a goal, but your natural state? What would happen if you gave yourself permission to truly live from it? If this journey resonated with you, drop in the comments. I purify, I protect, I pass it on. And if you're ready for more rituals, real tools, and energetic guidance, subscribe now. This is more than content. It's an invitation to become the most protected, peaceful, and powerful version of yourself. Because healing isn't about returning to who you were. It's about becoming who you were always meant to be. And maybe the most important truth you'll hear today is this. You don't need to understand everything to begin. You don't need all the answers. You don't need the perfect conditions. You don't need to be completely healed. You just need to start. Start protecting yourself. Start observing your energy. Start choosing differently, even if it feels unfamiliar. Because every real transformation, it begins in the invisible. It's quiet. It's subtle. Sometimes it's even lonely. But when it happens, the world around you notices. It responds. Because your frequency, your field, has changed. And if you've made it this far, it's because some part of you already knew, "I needed this." Now you know the way. You have the tools. And the most beautiful part? You can teach this to others, not through lectures or explanations, but simply by how you carry yourself, by your energy, by your peace, by your example. Go to the comments and type, "I accept my transformation." Let that be your seal, your permission, your quiet yes to breaking free from what's been holding you back. And if this video spoke to something deep inside you, share it with someone who needs this cleansing. Because you might be the bridge, the person who helps someone else feel lighter, sleep deeper, stand taller, or finally say, "I don't have to carry this anymore." You never know how powerful your sharing can be. You never know who's watching or how much they needed a moment like this. So share it, live it, and remember, your energy protects you, your peace guides you, and your transformation is already underway. Subscribe if you're ready for more rituals, healing practices, and real energetic tools that don't just talk change, they create it. Because this isn't just a video, it's your new beginning.